Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to this session of our ZIPINAR. We call it ZIPINAR, trying to give you the most out of the 1 hour that we ask you to spend with us. This 1 hour will not make you great, but definitely it would help you to empower yourself with information, inform you with something new. Our own sole and only goal here is to help the community in whatever ways we can. We have been doing these webinars for the past almost 3 years now, and we hope that it has been helping others, and we have been getting enormous feedbacks that we are doing a good job, and that motivates us to do further, motivates us to do more. And then we have speakers whom we have invited earlier, and then they connect with us, and then they show how they are growing in their area and how they have made a difference from the time that we called them until now. So then we get that inspiration to share with the community that this is how growth looks and feels. And we have the reason why I say this, because we have one of our speakers who personifies in this. He's been in one field, traveled to another, and now he's doing so much more. But before I give much information about that, I would definitely welcome you all who have joined in on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn. But make sure that you get a little bit involved by emailing us at webinar@letustalkit.com if you want to present, or if you know anyone who would add value to our community. And we also help our youth to learn public speaking, to open up, to have their opinions out there in public, and creating, of course, a virtual friend circle, because we do our youth webinars as well, where we do a proper youth prep session every Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then they go live alternate Fridays and Saturdays. We have 2 groups, and if you have a kid and you want to know more about it and enroll your kid, please do visit our web, letustalkit.com/youth, and register your kids there. So having said that, we'll start with today's topic and the speaker. So today's topic, we have a very interesting topic, I must say. So the topic is be your own master, which we want to be, but how to do it and explore our capabilities and abilities and win the world is what is important. And to talk about that and more, we have with us Professor K.C. Janardhan. And as I said, he has been with us before. He's a professor of penmanship and management and calligraphy maestro. But having all that, and he has this 2 great achievements that he will be talking to you about, definitely, because I remember him saying that he is the only one who can write his own passport, and many other unique things with him. But what interested me was that his talk on epilepsy should not hold you back. That's what another League of Action Heroes that he has been part of. And then also the other thing that how age is an important factor for good handwriting, and he has been doing some world humanitarian drive. So I've just given you, bullet points, but to explain it, to show us how we can grow individually and help the community, we have with us Professor Janardhan. Absolute honor and pleasure to have you. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Julan. And good evening to everybody. So I'm going to be starting today by asking you a few questions, which I did to myself when I was about 26 or 27. I would want you to all participate in this dialogue rather than a monologue from my side, and then we'll make it more interesting. My first question to you would be, who are you? And the next question will be, what are you? Could you please tell me who are you and what are you? Yes, there are quite a few of you who have joined in. Could you please give me the answers? Who are you and what are you? And I'm not looking at your name, your family background, or your educational background. Who are you really? And what are you really? Could we have in the chat box, or could we have somebody putting up their hand and answering me? Yes, that's nice.
Hi,
Go ahead.
Casey.
Yes.
Hi. Yeah, I am. I am Phil John. I am currently a student right now, a
Okay.
psychology student. So, like, what are you? As of the moment, I'm still seeking what really I am. As of the
Okay.
moment, I'm trying my best to complete the degree, as that's my goal and my parents' goal.
Okay. Now, Fiji John, right? Now, tell
Phil
us
John.
something tell us something that is not known to the world already. You are a psychology student, and then you're trying to do certain things. That's fine. But who are you really? It's very interesting that a psychology student is here. Who are you really, and what are you?
Well, who I really am is that I can entertain myself. Like I do not seek validation from others. Like I can do things by my own, and I'm happy with that. If I have company, it will be more enjoyable rather than like having like companies that do not help you at all.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
who I am.
I'm getting into a question which is actually deeper. Now, many of us have not asked this question to ourselves as to who am I, what am I? Once you get clarity about who am I and what am I, then the purpose of your life is also getting clearer. And then your path is wonderful. Now, the others over here, I see quite a few people who have joined in. Could you please put your hand up and say, have you ever asked this question to yourself at some point in life? Who am I? What am I? Who am I and what am I? Now, I have asked this question from America to New Zealand, various schools, colleges, and universities, and in corporates, and people. Sometimes I'm really surprised. There's a lot of silence because people have still not asked themselves. I think it's time now for each one of us to have started asking this question: who am I and what am I? Let's see. You could be right, you could be wrong, but you have the freedom of expression. Please go ahead and tell me, who are you? What are you? Yes, please. Go ahead. You have the freedom of speech. Express yourself. You could be right, you could be wrong. Not to worry. I'm there to take you through. And I think we have only 30 minutes. So the time keeps ticking away. Yes, please. Who am I? What am I? He said, I am a psychology student. But really, who are you? Okay. If there's nobody trying to answer, let me take you deeper into it. I ask these questions. Now, you see, all of us are born with a lot of innate abilities, inborn abilities and talents. I look at each one of you like Leonardo da Vinci, born with so many innumerable abilities. But then, unfortunately, we have not taken a deep dive into us to find out what is there within us. We normally tell that my name is this, I'm so and so's son or daughter, or I'm qualified in this particular thing, or I work for such a corporate, or this is my designation. Now, all that is known. Now, when I ask these questions to myself, I found, in fact, I asked some questions much earlier in life when Julian gave you the introduction. I was born with a medical condition called as epilepsy, the hot water epilepsy. And I had to go to a place called as Nimhans in Bangalore, which was then known as the mental hospital. So, the stigma being so strong, people call you a madcap, you're a mad person. And how do you fight the social stigma? More than the health condition, it is the social stigma which becomes very difficult to handle. So at the age of 8, I found, people like somebody who is normal, who is creative, who is a performer, who is getting high marks in school, or somebody who looks beautiful. So they appreciate all these things. But if you have a deficiency or a deformity, you are actually ostracized, you're kept away. Now that's when I understood that you need to do something different. You need to showcase your talents and abilities. And at the age of 8, I brought out my abilities in doing mimicry, in aero modeling, ship modeling, painting, sculpting, a variety of things, and a bit of mono acting. So that showcased some of the abilities. And then people got diverted. And then they said, this is nice, this is lovely. And they forgot about the social stigma. They stopped calling me a mad guy. Right? So this is how it started when I was 8. Very early in life, I had some insights. But then when I was 27, when I wanted to do something which is satisfying in my life, what had happened was I had indulged in a lot of businesses from my school final and college days. I came from a family which was, on my paternal side, they were all doctors, and maternal side, they were all businessmen. And each family wants you to do what they want. Like, the businessmen want you to become a guy somebody into business, and the family of doctors want you to become a doctor, but then they don't allow you to become what you want to be. Right? How many of you have faced the situation that others impose what they would like you to be? So I tried a hand at businesses, and then I was not feeling very comfortable because there was a lot of unethical practices in business that was going on in family businesses. And ethics from the medical side was actually pulling me away. That's when I sat down to ask myself, what should I be doing in my life? And what gives me the satisfaction at the end of the day? And how can I make a living where it's a happy journey? So that's when the innate abilities in me, I found numerous innate abilities and said, let me try to make a living with my abilities. What are the abilities that I have? Now, you all know that I am a chatterbox. I can keep talking for hours together, except that Julian said that I fall asleep early. But then sometimes while talking, and if you are interacting with me, I can stay awake for a longer time because it's a passion to speak. I was called a chatterbox. So where can you use chatterboxes? In teaching, in training, public speaking, or you could be an orator, you could become a politician or a statesman, or you could be a video jockey or radio jockey. So many options are there. All you need to do is to get the right kind of information, load it there, and start disseminating information. And I found, okay, painting, sculpting, miniature model making, all that was excellent. It gave me a lot of pleasure. But then I wanted to do something which was helpful to society. So that's when I decided I'll help people who are suffering from bad handwriting, because I'd heard a lot of distressed voices telling me that, brilliant students are getting low marks and average students are failing. So I started my own self-directed research. And I also want to tell you that, I was not regular to school because of the issue with epilepsy. And I didn't really like school because they never gave me the answers that I was looking for. And after I left school and did a few postgraduate diplomas after the degree, I decided that I want to know more in those areas of interest which draws me. And then I went after those books like in anthropology, sociology, psychology. I love geography. I like self-development books and about spirituality, and started reading them and trying to meet people who are experts in this field and interact with them to know more. I wanted to know the practical side. And whenever I read a book, I never took it on its face value. I always questioned, what made this author write this book? Under what circumstances? What is the perception this person developed? And whatever this person has written in the book, is it applicable to me? Is it applicable to the place where I live? Because places have different kinds of belief systems. Different places, they believe in different things. And then take what is applicable to me and my surroundings or my community or the society I live in. Now, all these insights made me choose a career in teaching. Though I didn't have a post-graduation to teach, I entered the realm of teaching. Though I don't have a certificate in handwriting and calligraphy, today I've attained status where I can guide people how to do it well and have proved it. So it's all your natural ability. I'd like to quote Cicero. Cicero said, "Natural ability without education has risen a man to glory and virtue than education without natural ability." Don't read me wrong. I'm not trying to advocate that you don't need to get education, but then whatever you read and understand and absorb and assimilate, you need to apply. And if you can combine it with your inborn abilities and strengths, that is a deadly combination. I'll give you a very small example of how to find your natural abilities. And I'm very disturbed when I see a lot of people unhappy in their jobs. Now, can I ask a few more questions before I go ahead? How many of you love your weekends? How many of you like that word, oh, the weekend is round the corner? Yes, please. How many of you love your weekends? How many of you are looking forward to your weekends? Yes, please. Hey, come on. You must interact with me. Talk to me, please.
Yes. For the weekends as of the moment, like since I'm a student, so there's a lot of paperwork and essay writing during the weekend. So I do not really look forward to it as of the
Okay.
moment.
Okay, John. What about the others? Please tell us how many of you are looking for your weekends? How many of you love your weekends? Hey, come on. How many of you really get the kick when it's a Friday afternoon? Oh, wow, the weekend is around the corner. You know, research shows that almost, sorry, yes, come in.
Yeah,
yes.
Sometimes it's occasionally.
Occasionally, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
You like your weekends. How many of you dread your Mondays? How many of you dread Mondays?
Me.
Who's that? Oh, Fiji John. Why, Fiji John, that you dread Mondays?
Because like it's gonna be like a work day and also like a school day. Like it's
Work
well
day and
it
school day. All
yeah.
right. You see, 70% of the people across the globe have the syndrome of, Monday morning blues, and they love the weekends because if people have not chosen what they like to do, they hate Monday to Friday. If you like and love what you do from Monday to Friday, you do not have a weekend at all. The moment you say it's work, it has a negative connotation. Why don't you think that you're on a holiday every day? Now, that happens only when you do what you like and love to do. So if you can pick up what are your natural abilities and you have your inner voice telling you you like doing this, you love doing this, and that activity which interests you, if you can make it a full-time occupation, which leads to becoming a vocation, which can get you returns to make a living, and you become an expert in it, you become a professional. So you should do a self-introspection and start asking this question as many times as possible. Who am I and what am I? And there may be a lot of abilities within you which may not have been ready for the current scenario. Maybe you're too early for the current scenario, or somebody may say it's obsolete, but still it's a strength that is there within you, which could be used effectively. So once you find your strengths, write down your strengths and assess how strong are you in that particular activity. Now, can anybody tell me what is your strength? What do you think is your strength by nature? You don't need to put in effort to perform. It comes to you naturally. Any activity, it can be anything. You may be a painter, a sculptor, a singer, a dancer, or you may organize things beautifully. You may keep your books in order, or you may organize a lot of things. There are many things like that. What is it that interests you? What is it that you'd like to do other than your normal occupation? Come on. I want you to interact. When you interact, that's when you will have more interesting insights. Nothing on the chat screen yet? Okay. So, how many of you are not very happy with what you're doing today? How many of you are very happy with it? Let me ask you these two questions. How many of you are happy with what you're doing as a profession or a vocation for your living? And how many of you are not happy? Yes? Could we have your answers? Yes, please.
Yes,
Are you
I
happy?
am.
Yeah,
I am. I am happy.
you're happy. Okay.
Yeah.
Could we ask somebody who's not happy, who's unhappy?
Yeah. Anyone?
Nobody?
Feel free to unmute if you wish to.
Yeah, please. Yeah, please unmute and speak. If you're not happy with what you're doing, or do you feel that you could do something else much better? Well, if you're not answering, then I'm going to go ahead and tell you that 70% of the people in this world who work for corporates are not happy with what they're doing. And that's why they always look for weekends, because they can get away from work. And I have something, I have heard the FM radios in Bangalore, and I find that FM radios are like a barometer, which is a tool to measure your satisfaction. And I know Monica is also from Bangalore. Maybe Monica can also participate. Monica, you can come on the video, and then maybe it'll be nice because you're also going to be the next speaker. How many of you have heard FM radios in your own town? Or I know a few people are from Bangalore, and how many people listen to FM stations? Yes, please. How many of you have been listening to FM radio? Yes. Could I have Monica to join me? How many of you have been listening to FM radio? Hello? Could we have your videos on? Maybe that'll be more interesting.
Let me know if anyone have issues in unmuting or like permission to talk. I am checking everyone has the permission. Yeah, you feel free to unmute if you wish to, or just type it on the chat. I will recognize the chats.
See, the more you interact with me, the better it is for all of us. Julian just mentioned about people who are participating in this could also develop their public speaking skills. All right. I see Giant there. I see Lakshmikant. So there's nobody wanting to participate, then fine. So what I have observed is, quite a lot of people like to take off on a weekend. And when you listen to this FM stations, you find that a lot of people are very happy when the announcements are made on a Friday afternoon. The weekend is around the corner. Answer these questions and I'll give you 2 tickets for dinner or to some movie. So they're all happy that they're going to go and chill out in the weekend. But then come Monday, I've heard quite a lot of people with very interesting kind of inputs. So the radio jockey is up at about 6:37 in the morning and then talking to the listeners, and somebody's name comes up randomly, and then she says, "Oh, Raj, how are you this morning? You must be getting ready to go to office and you must be raring to go." And then suddenly the voice comes with a very gruff tone. "Good morning." Who's your favorite radio jockey? At least you can tell me that. Those who are participating in this ZIPINAR, who's your favorite radio jockey? Yes? Who's your favorite radio jockey? You haven't been listening to FM? Oh, yes. Go ahead.
For me here in the Philippines, they call them Papa Jack, as in like
Okay.
Jack. Yeah.
Yeah, Papa Jack calls up and says, Fiji John, you're raring to go this morning. You're ready to go to work. It's a nice, bright, sunny morning. All that. And then all this jing bang happens. But then, there comes a very gruff voice. So, can you play some motivating song? I'm still in bed. Why do Mondays come so fast? I want a motivating song to get up and get out of bed. So that talks about the mood of people that, they're not really enjoying their work. So Monday to Friday, those who are not really enjoying their work, it's for them. That how to enjoy your Monday to Friday as well as the whole week. So if you start indulging in what you like and love to do, at least tell me, what is it that you like to do? You like reading a book, or you like to paint, or what is it that you like to do? Supposing I say, if you're working, it's not for the students. You're working, and then I say, you don't need to worry about your salaries for the next 6 months. I will pay you the salary. Now, you go and enjoy yourself. Do what you like and love. What would you like to do? Tell me. How would you spend the next 6 months? Paid holiday. Come on, please tell me. Could we have some inputs?
Maybe I'll go out of town. Like,
yes.
Invite some friends. It could be something I could do.
Okay. Make friends, okay. And then?
Like meet new people, something like that.
Okay.
Talk about like talk about also what they do, like why we are meeting at that place, something like that. Just to see if there's something in common or whatnot.
So that means you are a person who likes to meet people. You're a people person and you like public relations.
Yeah, some sort.
That's what comes to you naturally. So that means you should be indulging in your vocation, which lets you meet a lot of people and interact with them. That gives you a lot of pleasure. So you must choose a vocation which is based on your strength of meeting people, interacting with them, and developing and maintaining relationships. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And I wish others also participate. Otherwise, I'll have to keep moving forward. And I don't know what kind of expectations they came with. At least tell us, what do you expect from the session when I said be your own master? It's finding your abilities and polishing them to become a master of your life by understanding a lot of innate abilities, your strengths, and also at the same time, what are your weak areas and how to deal with your weak areas. Yeah, you can interact with like-minded people and explore art and many new things with them. That's good. If you're already doing something in art, you should polish it and take it to the higher levels. Once you take it to higher levels, it becomes a profession for you to showcase your art form and earn out of it. Yes, Fiji John, is there somebody else? Even Vamsi is not around? So what did you expect from this session?
Well,
yes.
I'm not sure what happened to the rest, but I made sure they have the permission to talk actually.
That's right. So I have Lakshmikant and Jayant, and I see Kariguli. You could always interact.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Kariguli.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. So what is it that is interesting to you and what you enjoy doing?
No, sir. It was my basic instinct to learn the handwriting, sir.
Okay.
That is the reason why I joined with you.
Then I'm asking about if you are not, if you're given an opportunity to do something besides your teaching work, what is it
Yes,
that you
sir.
would love? Or do you
I
love
want
your
to,
teaching?
yeah, I want to become a calligrapher, sir.
Okay, good. All right, fine. That's nice.
Apart from my existing work, I want to become a calligrapher.
Okay, I think we are almost half the time now. I think Monica has to take over. So let me quickly wrap up this session because we thought an interactive session would be fine, but then we also find that not many people are coming forward to interact. So, in short, if you know what your abilities are, and when people appreciate when you perform in that particular ability that you have, then you know that it is a strength of yours. And you polish those strengths and take it to higher levels. Weak areas can be like, you may have some weaknesses by nature, that is inborn. You may have a health issue, or you may have some other kind of a deformity. So, to get over all those things, you need to look at what are those weaknesses you have. Sometimes you have instilled weaknesses. People would have given you the scare of your life by saying that, when you were young, if you're throwing up tantrums, they said, I'll take you to a doctor and get you an injection. So the fear of the doctor, then you may have the fear of the policeman, then you have the fear of the ghost. All these are instilled weaknesses, which can be got over once you understand the reality. It was just used to control you when you were a child and you were throwing up tantrums. But then, if you look at the acquired weaknesses, it can be because of an accident after you were born and you were growing up, or it could be some kind of an addiction that somebody has picked up. So these three weaknesses could be there in every human being, and the degree of weakness and the weakness can be varying from person to person. So if you're aware of your strengths and weaknesses, don't indulge in the area of your weaknesses. Any activity that exposes you weakness, you need to avoid them. Any activity that gives you pleasure, it's an ethical activity and it is your strength where it makes you enjoy, you should indulge more in it. And that's how I got into teaching. I got into handwriting and calligraphy. No formal qualification, but since I enjoyed it, I tried picking up a lot more nuances and the skill sets were polished and I've reached where I am today. So every one of you has got a lot of abilities and a lot of strengths. Also, you have weaknesses. Try to locate them and draw a complete chart and then choose what you like and love to do and create a market for it if it doesn't exist. All right. So I would like to end by saying, you need to always visualize what you want to do with your abilities. Then you picturize, which is you make a chart. Then you act upon it, which is you dramatize, and then you will actualize your dream and you will realize it. So visualize, picturize, dramatize, actualize, and you'll realize. And you can be very happy when you're able to perform with your strengths because everybody will be appreciating you whenever they see your performance. And the best way to go about doing is visualize the invisible, and I'm sure you can accomplish the impossible. I wish next time we'll have more interactions and meaningful dialogues. So thank you very much for this opportunity to speak to all of you. And whoever is the person who is the moderator of the show, I would like to thank them and say over to you. And then maybe the next speaker wants to speak, she can take over.
Yes, thank you so much, Master Casey. Well, we are not particularly sure if there are some technical issues on the other side of our attendees today, but yeah, we wish we could have a more interactive session today. But thank you so much for your patience and also sharing your expertise. And I totally agree, and I also enjoyed interacting with you, Casey. So
thank you.
Now we can move to the next topic for today. So this will be discussed by Monica. Now she has worked as a consultant with Fortune 500 companies and prestigious clients, along with global multidisciplinary teams for solving business challenges, envisioning and executing solutions. She is a B Gold medalist at NIT, certified design strategy, design thinking for business strategy, and entrepreneurship. So here she is with us actually to help discuss the innovative problem solving, which is to discover the ways in which you can solve business challenges effectively for those who are trying to for those startups who would like to enter the business world or like entrepreneurship or just starting or gathering knowledge. This would be a best topic for you to have and for our audience in our live platforms. So here I present to you, Monica. Over to you.
Hello, I hope I'm
Yes,
audible.
you are.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the session on innovative problem solving. Would like to thank Let Us Talk It for inviting me to speak at this webinar. It's a great feeling to be with all of you here. So, before we go ahead, let's see, why do we want to learn about problem solving? Is it believed to be put one on a path of great career success? Our problem solvers are considered as good leaders, consultants, and entrepreneurs. So let's see. So let's begin. Whatever is your reason to learn innovative problem solving, it can come handy in any of these situations. So let's begin. So what is innovative problem solving and why is it needed more than ever before? Is my screen, can you please see my screen? Is it visible?
Yes, we can see
Yes.
your
Sure.
slideshow.
Okay, great. As we are experiencing that world is changing at an unprecedented speed where technology and other factors are changing everything at a fast pace. Everything has transformed so dramatically. The way people behave, eat, shop, travel, communicate, the list is endless. Everything, including the business environment, is continuously changing at a rapid pace. So, realities are emerging that have never been experienced before. Physical and digital experiences are creating a totally different paradigm. And there are new age customers. Customers today are driven by choices, options, convenience. Customers and users are more savvier, informed, they're connected, smart. So as consumers and their lives are evolving in several other ways, and so are the needs and the demands. So people don't buy products anymore these days. They buy solutions, experiences, and memories, right? So as we know, the competition is fierce, right? And the competitors are producing extraordinary products and experiences at a rapid pace. New competitors are entering the market rapidly, thus creating an immense pressure on business owners to innovate. Right? So business leaders are operating in times when forces such as technological and global changes have made the problems increasingly complex. Right? So that's why we need innovative problem solving techniques, tools, right, methodologies these days, because the situation is such. Stakes are really high, which demand ever increasing need to develop innovative solutions and unique solutions, right? Though it's a thrilling experience to live in today's world, however, some skills are needed to survive and thrive in today's time full of uncertainties, complexities, ambiguity, and fast change. What we call as a VUCA world, right? To remain ahead of the game. We are in a continuous need for new and better idea to manage our lives, business, careers, and everything. Companies and businesses will need to have a dramatic shift in the way they operate, their business models, employee skills, leadership styles, and work culture. And that's what's changing the way we should be designing products, experiences, businesses, and solutions. Incremental innovation won't make the cut anymore. Right? Disruptive, innovative experiences are being introduced every moment. And that might disrupt any sector the way it happened in hospitality, travel, entertainment, etc. You can't produce something that is just good enough or a little better than the competitor anymore, right? In this current scenario, we are left with only two choices: innovate or perish. I hope you agree with me. Hence, the need to create extraordinary, innovative products, services, experiences need of the hour. Now, the question is how to create innovative solutions and design compelling experiences. How do we create, how do we actually do it? How do we actually create value for our customers, stakeholders, or how to avoid, significant risk of producing something which our customers or the users would not want or would not use, or they might even reject it, right? And how to discover new opportunities. Thus, design and innovation is needed to stay ahead of the competition. Right? But how do you achieve it? So that's the question which we are going to explore. How do we actually do it? So when dealing with complex problems or which are human centered, ambiguous, unclear, which has very little relevant data, which might need further exploration, then the best approach would be to use innovative methods to problem solve. The conventional methods may not work here. So, as an entrepreneur, your success is dependent on how well you are able to solve business challenges. And as a business leader, you're responsible for solving a multitude of problems, ranging from high level challenges to low level challenges. Successful businesses are designed to solve some kind of consumer problems, right? So it is of utmost importance that you understand the problem and then find innovative solutions to it, right? And for that, you need something. You need a particular skill, and that skill, if anybody can guess, is creativity. Right? So, what is creativity, and why is it valuable in solving complex problems? So, let's explore what creativity actually is. Creativity is about ingenuity, imagination, inventiveness, and expressiveness, right? Creativity is a talent to use original ideas and imagination to create something new. Creativity is the capability to generate novel ideas, right? Creativity is also an ability to go beyond the traditional mindsets, ideas, patterns, and impressions. Creativity is also use of how do you use your imagination and experience to come up with interesting solutions. It is also about thinking out of the box and imagining the world in new ways. Right? So creativity is also about recognizing ideas, alternatives, and possibilities. Creating differentiation is critical for business successes. We all agree with that. And unique, innovative solutions will help you just do that, right? Creativity helps you find unique, undiscovered tactics, helps you break conventional barriers and arrive at optimal solutions. So there are few ways in which you might deal with challenges. So there could be problems that you would want to solve, like complex problems that you want to solve. It could be present problems that you would want to instead a reactive approach to problem solving. Then you might be solving the problems which are like in the range of problem prevention, right? You're seeing a problem, a upcoming problem, and you would want to find a solution. Then there could be challenges, business challenges, wherein you want to do continuous improvements. So those are the third kind of problem areas that you would be seeing. And the last one would be creating a totally new products or experiences or creating a new future. So these are a few areas where complex problem solving skills and innovative solutions are needed. That's where you can obviously jump the curve. And for that, we need the right mindsets, the creative and analytical thinking, and of course, teams and environments conducive for innovation. Before even solving any problem, we need to be sure that are we solving the right problem? Many times we will you'll be facing a problem statement which might be just a symptom. So unless you're sure that you're solving the right problem, there's no point in going ahead, especially if you're dealing with a wicked problem. Tricky, difficult problems need to be defined first. They must be framed and reframed before they can be solved. To start that process and stimulate innovative thinking, A problem needs to be looked at carefully from a number of different angles. An attempt should be made to dig deeper and find the source of the problem and analyze the depth of the space, right? As one can never be sure that the solution defined will lead to user satisfaction because the real pain, the real source of the problem has neither been discovered nor addressed. So first we need to understand what the real problem is, not what is on the surface or what we hear or what we see. Problem solving ideally should start with understanding the needs, values, and beliefs of the people we are designing for. As we discussed, the challenges entrepreneurs, organizations face today are much more complex and tricky than the ones we faced a few decades ago. So finding innovative solutions is hard, right? Past experience usually puts us towards familiar way of seeing things, but which would not make the future look any different, right? We need to find solutions which are on the next curve, right? So finding innovative problem solving, therefore, is of utmost importance, and that's why it's growing in importance, and you hear and find about it a lot more these days. So innovative problem solving is a way of solving problems or identifying opportunities as well when conventional thinking has not worked. To solve these new and complex problems, design thinking is one of the ways. It is a systemized, non-linear, human-centered approach. I'm sure many of you would have heard about design thinking already. Simply stated, design thinking is a humanistic approach to solving complicated problems. Design thinking is an effective way to solve complex problems, the process by which designers approach problem solving. It allows us to adopt a human centered perspective in creating innovative solutions while also integrating logic and research and solving problems with the help of right mindsets, collaborative teams, and conducive environments. It offers a mechanism for representing ambiguous, complex problems in a structured way to generate better and more innovative solutions. It incorporates analytical thinking, divergent and convergent thinking to create a wide number of potential solutions and then narrow them down to find the best fit solution. So design thinking starts with the present, like what is happening right now, what is the current situation. It encourages you to stay in the problem space first and fully understand the problem you're trying to solve. You need to learn all you can about it. You who does the problem affect, who are the stakeholders, who are involved in solving the issue. We need to gather all the knowledge you can and data you can to gain a better understanding of the issue of the problem itself. With observational research, interviews, we can gather qualitative data to start to understand our users, build empathy, and define their problems. So examining the data we have gathered helps identify patterns, insights, and while doing this, we also discover new opportunities. Like while analyzing the problem space itself, you will find out a lot of hidden opportunities, hidden gems, which you can always incorporate in your problem solution space. So it actually enhances your solutions. And the problem almost always has a unique context, which needs to be established, followed by problem definition, which is the most critical part and needs to be done with utmost care. So defining the problem is very much required here. Like, what are we actually trying to solve? Until we get to that point, we need to do our research, in-depth research, to come to that conclusion. Exactly what are we trying to solve? Because we can unwittingly throw away all kinds of opportunities for innovation before even we get to start. Because if we adopt a too narrow or a conventional definition of a problem, if we define the problem in a way that hardly any solution is going to come up, so that we are killing our innovation in the beginning itself. So, discovery and in depth analysis and defining the problem statement is of utmost importance here. Second, this attention to the present helps you uncover unarticulated needs, which are the key. The unarticulated needs of the users are like what they are not able to tell. They don't even know that they have the need. It's for the problem solver, the teams to discover that this is the actual need which we need to address, and with and those are the needs or actual things that which are key to producing the kind of innovative solutions we are looking for. So that's the key differentiator here. It gives us a solid and ideally deep insights in what our stakeholders truly want and need, which reduces the risk of failure with a new idea. Usually, it's like, what if the consumers don't like what we are producing? It's always on the in the back of your mind. So that's why it's like de-risking your projects. Focusing on the problem space also helps us to specify what a great solution should look like. The next phase. So in this design thinking, we haven't even started generating solutions or ideas till yet. We are still in the problems. The next phase is about the creative and the generative phase here. I need to go back. Generative phase stage in the process. We're going to ask like what all is possible to solve the problems, keeping in mind that we want to start this part of the process by focusing on possibilities. We will not be focusing on constraints here. It's like whatever comes to the mind, whatever is possible, we are going to jot down all the creative ideas in this process. This is, we call it as brainstorm also. And next, we are going to take these individual ideas and combine them into all kinds of different concepts. Then we evaluate the concepts and select few appealing ones and hit the sweet spot where the chance of significant upside for our stakeholders matches our resources and capabilities, like what we can actually deliver. Next, we need to transform the concept into something called prototype, which we can actually test with the customers so that we get rich feedback. We can go back, refine, and again test with the users. So by trying out a low fidelity prototype with actual users, whether they like it and give us a useful feedback. Then we refine the prototype and test in yet more users, right? Iterating our way until we feel confident about the value of our new solutions and we are ready to scale it. Co-creation with different broad set of users helps further refine. Finally, it's time to implement your solution. So that's a step-by-step process that is followed to achieve innovative problem solving. There are so many tools and techniques that we use to achieve and carry out each of these individual steps, as we discussed earlier also. So design thinking is human centered, right? So the main key differentiator is just a human center where we always start with people, with the real human beings, the people we are going to design for. Design thinking emphasizes the importance of deep exploration into the lives and problems of people we hope to generate value for before we are allowed to generate solutions. This is why it is always usually called user driven. It adopts market research methodology and a quantitative and also empathetic research we use. It's also enthusiastic about engaging with other human beings in co-creation. So designing it's also about possibility driven, right? It uses this information. We will learn to ask the question. We begin to create new ideas, how to serve them. It also focuses on generating multiple options, right? So that we are not putting our eggs in one basket. And since we are trying to find out the unarticulated needs of the customers, of stakeholders, of the user group, so we should be expecting to experiment a bit. Finally, the process is iterative. Like we take the feedback, refine the product, and it goes in iteration until we are like we expect to iterate our way to success. The user-centric approach, as we already mentioned, to problem solving, it leads to innovation, and innovation leads to competitive advantage. So, so that's the beauty of this innovative problem solving techniques and tools. I hope it helps. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, the time is up. So I'll take leave. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you so much for that very informative discussion. So anyone would like to share their insight? Also, you can ask question through chat and you can unmute actually.
And
So
do
we have,
feel free to connect with me. Yeah.
yes, and we have here great wonderful presentation by Prof. Casey Janardan. So this is from Durai Sami, Penang, Malaysia. All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you, Datho Dareswamy, for your kind words.
Okay.
No, I think it seems like an odd day where not many people were around.
Yeah, that's well, since it is broadcasted as well live, so some audiences or attendees might be at Facebook or YouTube, so
Okay.
cannot in our Zoom today. But yeah, anyhow, like yeah, we could wish to have more interactive as what you are looking forward. But
Maybe we can ask whether you need an interactive session or you want just a PowerPoint presentation. I
I
think that
see.
can help us to tailor it to the needs of the audience. I thought interaction will be better
Yeah.
because they will have a lot of questions and it would be fun talking to them and then trying
Right.
to find various
That's the point.
perspectives.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think it's a learning experience for all of us how people are responding to these kind of webinars and ZIPinars. And maybe there are a few days where there could be other distractions which can keep them away. Or I don't know how people on Facebook and other mediums that you told me would be able to connect with us and interact. I always felt an interactive session is more effective.
Yes, that is true. All right. Well, anyhow, for those attendees in our other platforms, you can also check the profiles of our speakers today through LinkedIn. You can also review today's video. It will be recorded and posted in our YouTube channel as well. And for any other concerns, yeah, just message our speakers. They're very much approachable. They're pretty easy to search on LinkedIn as well. And also, um, we just wanted to let you know that we also have our live youth Let Us Talk It webinar every Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So you can join the preparation sessions every Tuesday and Thursday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time by registering at our website. That's letustalkit.com/youth. All right, so let's help as well our emerging speakers to be confident and share their knowledge and learnings to the world and help other younger and kids as well be inspired. All right. So again, we have waited and no one has unmuted or shared their insights or interact with our speakers. So I guess this would conclude the session for today. But I will check with Julan and my colleagues about your request, Prof. Casey, retraction or any other follow-up session. That would be
Yes.
very much useful as well. All right. Well, anyhow.
Or they can come prepared with their questions so that we could interact with them and make it more meaningful.
Yes. Okay. For sure. All right. Well, again, thank you so much for your time, effort, and sharing your knowledge to the community. Thank you so much, Prof. Casey, and also Monica. We do really appreciate
Thank you.
your time today for joining. And for the attendees as well, thank you so much for joining. See you again next Wednesday, same time, for another session and two new topics to discover. All right. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
everyone, and have a nice day and evening to you all.
Thank
Take
you.
care.